Taxes are an enormously important issue, and that is why it is the cornerstone of my campaign. Taxation holds some very real consequences for our economy and our society as a whole. Let's first discuss the economic impact. The United States, through capitalism, created the single greatest economic success story the world has ever seen. However, we now have one of the most unfriendly tax policies for working class people and businesses in the world. History is our best evidence that when taxes are low, our economy expands, our incomes grow, our jobs more plentiful. It is simple. Taxes are a cost, a burden placed on us by our government. The lower the burden, the more the economic activity takes place. Our country was founded in large part as a revolt against the British over taxation. The Founding Fathers were passionate about wanting taxes to be limited, only enough to support a few primary government functions. In the U.S. today, we have a progressive tax system. The harder you work, the more you pay. That's right. The more productive you are, the more you sacrifice in order to create a better life for your family, all the while adding more economic value to our society, including the creation of more jobs. The government feels that it has a right to confiscate a significant majority of that from you. Under our Constitution, Americans are supposed to be treated equally. Today, the top 25% of income earners, many of who are small business owners like me, pay 80% of the taxes, with the bottom 50% paying none. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness was based on an opportunity, not a foregone conclusion, and not intended for some to receive it based on the hard work of others. When the government taxes us at a level that exceeds that needed for basic functions of their mandate, per the Constitution, it sends a signal that they know how to use our money better than we do. In truth, it is the citizens who create value via the private sector that are the backbone of this country, our country, and hence that is where the money should stay. From a societal perspective, consider how many families have been forced to become dual income earners, which means that children now receive less care from a stay-at-home parent and where the television takes the place of parental attention. In a dual income home, one parent is working to earn income for the family, the other parent is working to earn income for the government. Meaningful tax relief would enable more families a choice. So what do you think? Are your taxes too low? Do you not pay more than your fair share? Does the government know how to utilize your money better than you do? Many of the other candidates here in the 4th District have either been silent on the issue, promised not to raise taxes, but said nothing about lowering them, or admitted that now is not the time for meaningful tax reform. I am the strongest candidate on taxes. I believe not only that our taxes should not be raised, but must be lowered, and that reform is needed now. We need to stop monkeying around with marginal tax rates in an IRS maze that involves 7 million words and requires Americans to spend 10 billion hours to complete them every year. How can any logical candidate say that now is not the time for reform? What must the opportunity cost be of people doing their taxes today versus spending that time working or with their families? That is why I am a strong supporter of the Fair Tax Plan, which, as the name implies, is a fairer option for all Americans. We would transition from an invasive tax that penalizes productivity, investment, and savings to one flat rate on consumption, allowing us to eliminate the IRS. Should the fair tax not be in a position to pass, but a flat tax or national sales tax would, I would support them so long as they excluded the addition of a VAT tax, and would also fight for the elimination of taxes on capital gains, dividends, and of course the death tax. Our government needs to right-size itself in order to tax each dollar one time. Americans deserve real tax relief, and as the true people's candidate in this race, I will fight to ensure that you keep more of what you earn, not the government. Adoption of a meaningful tax reform would be the single greatest boost we could do for the economy, thus creating more jobs and increasing revenue to the Treasury, allowing us to pay down our national debt. Real representatives are pushing this issue to the forefront. Politicians aren't, because by removing the power that comes with significant tax reform, power is transferred from the government's hands into yours, ladies and gentlemen, which would represent the single largest return of our financial freedom since the country was founded. If you are tired of the current tax system and having to give to the government so much of what you work for, then our campaign is the answer. I am asking for your vote. Thank you.